And we say good morning and thank you for choosing CCFM on this Wednesday morning. Time for us to get into the midweek moment. And I'm sure that you might be one of those people who's on prepaid. This morning when I wanted to make a phone call, my phone told me, sorry, you don't have, you've got insufficient funds. You need to load some more money or some more airtime. So it's kind of like an awkward situation when you've got to make that call and you're like, oh, okay, so I first got to do that before I can do what I need to do, which is make a phone call. And it got me thinking about the whole reality of the airtime in our heads. Like, how much time do you spend thinking about something? Something positive maybe or something negative? How much time do you give, if I were to say the thing like ice cream? I know I've got Rachel's attention, right? But it's the reality that we can't go longer than 3 seconds without thinking. Hey, 3 seconds. It's impossible to go longer than 3 seconds without thinking. Of course, it's 3 minutes without breathing at least. There are people that can do longer than 3 minutes. 3 days without water, but 3 seconds is the maximum amount of time you can go without thinking. So what are you actually thinking about? What are you spending time thinking about? And again, to use the analogy of ice cream, let's just put that thought back in there again.
Why?
Sorry. But it's so easy. And then, of course, when somebody says to you, well, I've got bad news for you, already you're thinking negative or bad thoughts and like, oh, goodness me, what happened? So here's the thing. We need to take cognizance. We need to capture those thoughts. The Bible speaks about it, taking every thought captive under the authority of Jesus Christ. Now, I always used to believe and operated from the place of, all those bad thoughts, I've got to capture them and I've got to chuck them out of my head. But somebody once pointed out, it's also the good thoughts. We need to capture them and hold on to them. Because if you're constantly trying to think of bad thoughts and capture them and throw them out and capture them and throw them out, well, you're going to get exhausted, right? But if I can take those positive thoughts, those thoughts where it reminds me I am loved by the Creator, those thoughts of you have a purpose. God has a purpose for me, and so I have purpose in this life. If I hold on to those things, if I take those thoughts captive, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to live a life that God has wanted me and wants me to live. In Romans chapter 6, verse 22 and 23, I love the way that the Message translation puts it. Listen to this. But now that you've found you don't have to listen to sin tell you what to do, and have discovered the delight of listening to God telling you, what a surprise, a whole, healed, put together life right now with more and more of life on the way. So if we listen to God, if we take every thought that God sends our way, those thoughts of you are more than a conqueror, those thoughts of you are my child, those thoughts of I have a plan and a purpose for you, if we take hold of those things, then our life will be full of goodness, of God's goodness, of purpose, of a way forward. So let's do that today. I want to challenge you. I want to encourage you that in this time, when there's so much fake news out there, when there are so many things flying at us, such a lot of information, so many challenges, so many negative things, challenging times, we absolutely have to hold on to what God says to you and I. And that's my challenge to me and to you this morning.
You say that you'll come through, but